Good morning, YouTubers, and welcome back. Episode 2, and it is 10 to 5 in the morning. I'm off on my fasted walk. So hopefully in today's episodes you will see a push session or elements of it. So I'll take you through that. We are just under 6 weeks out now from the first show and 5 weeks from my photo shoot. So yeah, I'll let you know how things are going. So stay tuned. Yeah, so here we are on my morning walk. Weather's been good the last couple of days, so no chance of rain. Still got the hoodie up. Just a little point from the last video. My kids always say that I do this. I repeat myself. Must have been my age, but I repeat myself in the last video, say the same thing twice. Hey ho. Anyway, so my editing skills aren't great, but trying to improve, which is what we're all trying to do, trying to get better. As I say, I am less than 6 weeks out. Yeah, in the last week, down again, did a refeed when my daughter came up on Thursday last week, so pretty clean refeed. We went out, we had some lunch, and I had 5 donuts. They're only small ones. It was Father's Day present, so a bit of a spike in blood sugar. No harm done really. So, you know, call it what you like, whether it's a diet break or a refeed or an off-plan day, high day. You know, there needs to be an element of trying to manage that fatigue, particularly as this is going to be potentially, if things go well, a long season. So it's playing that long game, making sure that I'm able to you know, sort of take my time. It's time that I need in order to lose body fat, not rush the process. You know, give myself those breaks as well to allow myself, like I say, to manage that fatigue, diet fatigue, and not come in like I did last time. Trying to eliminate those mistakes. So yeah, things are good. Strength is still good. Size, fullness, yeah, body fat is coming down. Body weight is not coming down a huge amount, which is perfect scenario in some ways, but we will see how things go. I am going a little bit harder last couple of days in terms of carbs, and probably may do a refeed Friday. That's when my daughter comes up again. Ironically, she's on a calorie deficit herself, so had a bit of fun looking at the nutrition app that she's using to see what it's giving her in terms of macros. Interesting as well, she's doing cardio, as in running, so she's trying to run every day. I kind of advised to begin with just do the one walk every other day, but just watch your joints, get them run for a while, get little niggles. But yeah, fair play. So, you know, she'll come up again, and it's nice. Gives me that break as well. I lift my head up. You know, life goes on, even though you're in prep. Sometimes, you know, you can forget all these things. What it does make me even more, I'm a lot more focused in terms of my schedule. through the day, whether it's meals, clients, you know, making sure that I have time to do all these things, get my steps in. Posing, as I say, I've done 3 rounds now. I've included posing when I wake up, so get up a bit earlier to do these things. And yeah, steps I've pushed up, so I've pushed up to, of course, 15. Okay, so it's quite high steps at the moment. No cardio. I may 4 weeks, 3 weeks out, drop some in, see how we are. But you know, I'm trying to keep as many variables up my sleeve so that I don't have to, I've not run out. There's still things I can do. I don't really want to drop calories anymore. There are elements, possibly in meal 1, I might drop the oats, but not drop the oats out completely, but cut in half maybe. But yeah, so it's all good. As I say, this video I will show you the push session. The triceps and abs are not on there, but I do include those, but I didn't get the right footage. It's got pictures of my legs and my feet, so there we go. But yeah, it's all moving in the right direction. I'm going to carry on my walk. A couple of clients this morning, and then yeah, I'll see you later on. So here we are for the push session. Start off with side delts first. I always find just an extra, there's no harm in doing more side delt work. Warms up my shoulders as well, but I do a few working sets to get them primed. And as I say, you can never look as wide as possible. Then I go into the fly. Again, I'm very careful warming up. I spend a good 10 minutes building up to a top set, and I normally do a giant set, so that involves 5 sets with 10 seconds rest in between. A bit of FST really, to really get in there, get the blood in. I found that works best for me. It's a weak body part, but I really engorge it with blood. And then we move on to incline work, so a bit of angle work. 2 sets here now. At the moment, I'm still working with dumbbells, still trying to keep my strength up. My top set here is around about the 6 to 8 range. Trying to keep everything as tight as possible. There's a little bit of an arch there towards the end, but my stabilizers are good at this point. So I persist with trying to maximize as much as I can. The second set is generally the same, so I don't have a back off set with the incline work. It's always the top line, the inclines that I suffer with when I'm going to prep. And then today I switched it a little bit, but we normally go to a seated press. And again, what I'm looking to do here is, you know, drive as much as I can for that top set between 6 and 8, and really try and push that weight as much, and obviously try and finish good range, and really it is that sort of strength that I'm looking to try and maintain at this point. And obviously strength equals size if I can keep that fullness going into that first show. So I do a back off set as well on that one, second set. So again, the volume is low. Back off set's normally around 12 reps. Then I go into a flat version here on the hammer. And again, here, you know, I'm looking for that sort of top set of around about 6 to 8. Really trying to keep my strength as much as possible. I don't bench anymore. I find this is good for my shoulders. I can really push onto the chest and really drive and finish there. So that's the flat press. Again, 2 sets there. And then as a finisher, I combine 2 movements. I first of all start with the pec, and I pec deck, and I move in, as you notice, I'm moving to an angle to work the upper. So I'm working the upper part of the pecs in this movement. As much weight as I can handle for as many reps as I possibly can, and the reps
you know, sort of around that sort of 17, 18, 20 mark. They're quite high reps, but towards the end I'm really trying to get a best pump as I possibly can, really connect with the chest. By the end of this, what I call a double set, so I'll go on to a press up variation, which we'll see in a minute. I do 2 working sets here. So the second part of the pec deck is working the lower part. So I lean back and work the lower part of my chest on the pec deck, and then finish with the press up variation. So this is the first of 2. Again, I'm trying to get as many reps really finishing through that movement. My chest at this point is pretty blown. Obviously is exhausted already from the press work. My triceps wouldn't be able to handle much more, and so I'm able to really push through here in this final effort. And then, as I say, here we go into the press up variation. Now I put my heels, so I put my heels against the backboard, and imagine someone's lifting you up from your belt, getting nice and close. This avoids the shoulders because my shoulders cannot cope with a normal press up. And then literally imagine someone pulling you up by the belt. Someone showed me this a few years ago, and the pump I get on my chest is extraordinary. Again, I'm going to max as many as I can, and then when I fail, I drop to my knees and just keep going and try and match what I did off my knees. So my knees, you can see, slightly off the floor, and then I just keep going. This is the first of 2, so obviously the second set with the lower pec work on the pec deck is followed by another set of this, and by this point my triceps are done, and the pump I get is incredible, and the shoulders, I'm not getting a lot of strain on those front delts at all. And I'm pretty pleased to have come across that chest routine. It's taken me many years to try and perfect it. Then I go on to shoulder work. So you start with the rears. I used to use a lot of dumbbell work, always a big advocate of dumbbells, but recently I've gone on to the reverse fly. I find this, I can really keep the tension on, I can really squeeze it. I'm pushing the weight up again. Again, reps are quite high, 16 to 20 here. I'm trying to outdo my last rep count. So, if I got 16 on my last session, I want to get 17. It's still trying to progress. Just because I'm in prep doesn't mean to say my mentality is different. I'm still trying to push PBs where I can, often reps rather than load, but I still want to maintain that strength. So then we go into a press. Now, I haven't pressed for many years, and I started pressing during the winter. Again, the top line, just having a shoulder press and the strength to do it. I've come down in weight, obviously in prep, but I'm still, that 6 to 8 range for a top set, and then I'll do a back off set of 12 reps. And I use the Arnold press with the palms in, keep it nice and tight. Don't go as deep for the heavier one, slightly deeper for the lighter set, back off set. But I find in terms of my shoulder thickness has certainly improved over time. What's happened there? Oh yeah, look, I'm concentrating. So I'm really focused. Again, my mindset is I have to get at least 6. My strength must not fail. You've got to keep that strength up during prep. I'm 5-6 weeks, under 6 weeks out from the first show, but I'm still pushing as much as I can. So here we go with the press, not locking out, and really driving as much as I can. See, I'm not going as deep. I've had a lot of shoulder injuries. I find this a safer movement, even with dumbbells, and I'm able to extract as much as I can from it. So that's the press, and then really from there it's the side delts again. So again, I'm 2 working sets on this. Reps are pretty high. I'm repping out in the region of 25-30, and I do a bit of rest pause. So I rest for 5 seconds, go again. So I'm seated, a little bit of a loose style. You know, I'm not using so light weights to keep my elbows high, but I'm really getting that burn on that side delt. I find this movement in this fashion appropriate. Even when you're seated, you can't cheat too much. And then I do partials as well. So when I start to fail, I just keep going as much as I can till I can't do any more. I'll drop the second set and I'll still push those reps up. So again, my mindset is if I did 30 last session, I want to do 31. You know, there's no backing off here. You know, I'm still pushing. And particularly for my push session, I've got to keep that mindset of I've got to stay strong. I've got to keep pushing forwards, because as I say, it's my weak area, or has been my weak area. Particularly, you know, when you start losing size, it goes from your weak body parts. So making a concerted effort. Again, this is the slightly lighter set, I believe. Yeah, you can see my range is a little bit higher now. And again, you know, the pump I get, as I really throw it onto those side delts. You know, you can say what you like about technique. I remember years ago, you know, watching Bertil Fox. He did bent over rows and shoulder press and stuff, very loose style, kind of the rip and grip on the rep bent overs. Now, you know, you could injure yourself, do yourself a lot of damage. And also at my age and in prep, you've got to be careful, but you kind of err on that, on the edge a little bit, you know, in order to, as I say, keep that strength up. It is risky. Still using dumbbells, as you can see. I'm not really using too many machines. I'll probably revert to a few of them. Might go cable in a few weeks. We'll see how the body's coping. So yeah, some size. I was doing some forward raises. I ditched those. I was getting some impingement in my front delt. Didn't like the movement. And there we go. There's that's after the chest session. Good pump. Shoulders are looking much thicker. Yeah, I've still got body fat to lose, but I'm pleased with maintaining the size. Body fat's coming down, obviously a lot slower on this occasion compared to my last prep 2 years ago. Yeah, and as I say, I'm pleased with the shape starting to come.
Good afternoon, early evening. Just to recap, the push session that you saw, absence of any tricep or ab exercises, but yeah, I'll try and include those at another time. But you got the gist, and you can notice one thing. Obviously, I've really struggled over the years trying to get chest development. Really a weak body part. Shoulders thickness is kind of there over time, but struggle to connect. And you know, my reps range from 6 to like 25. So we're getting the full spectrum, because there's 2 or 3 things here. One is about trying to activate and work the muscle fibre, and the other one is about strength and size, and be able to put compound movements together so you don't always feel. So you know, the reps low as 6, literally it's more of, as I say, that power strength, isn't it? 4 to 6 reps. So, but it's kind of trying to get all those fibres activated. You know, people could talk about lower body as an endurance muscle, so you know, you should be pushing the reps of 15, 20 plus. Good advocate of that. So again, when you see my lower body session, the reps will be pushed up. The first sign of condition is my lower body starts to come through. And again, that's purely genetics, really. My dad played football professionally, so he's always had strong legs. And touch wood, apart from the knee injury I took when I was like a rugby player. Rugby's not my first sport. I played rugby in the early 20s and knackered my right knee. So I just have to be careful to scar tissue build up, you know, just make sure it's warm. On cold days it bloody hurts. But you know, I'm quite fortunate. My older brother suffered from bad knees. My dad had to retire from football because his knees just blew up. So you know, I'm fortunate that I've not had problems there. So yeah, as I say, that's session. Comment if you like. You know, I'm always happy to have some kind of debate. It's open-ended really, because the key message I want to try and put across is it's individual, and you have to work out what's best for you. Now, you know, I could argue the point, well, yeah, you could improve. Of course, there's always room for improvement. You know, can I get better chest development from doing other things? You know, the proof is when you get on stage and you see your body parts, you think, oh, same again. Do you know what I mean? So it's just a question of, you know, I'm always learning. There's no experts out there. Obviously, guys, you know, and they're the pro status guys at the top of the field. You know, you want to listen to them, and that's what I do too, as we all do. You know, as far as I'm concerned, apart from that silver medal at the Worlds, I've not achieved anything yet. You know, I've not got a UK title. I haven't got lots of titles behind me. So, you know, as far as I'm concerned, I'm nothing in terms of what I've got to achieve. So, you know, that hunger is there. Anyway, I'll keep this short. Basically, just to wrap up, really, I'm off to get my iced coffee, which is my go-to at the moment. Have an iced Americano, so quite enjoy that. And yeah, so until next time, I don't think I've missed anything, and so I've covered hopefully a little bit of a session which, you know, as I say, might be useful to you. Try some of these things or not, but yeah, next time I'll do episode 3. It's undoubtedly going to be closer to the first show, and also I'll have my photo shoot, which I've never done before, and that's more the business side of it. Obviously try and get a decent portfolio where I actually try and look the part. I've tidied myself up a little bit around the gym, but you know, it doesn't come naturally to me. I generally just wear what I want to wear, but I've got to appreciate, you know, a professional in a working environment. You know, you've got to walk the walk, haven't you? So there we go. So yeah, so that'll be really good, and that will help my transition perhaps in the winter when I look at other aspects of my business as well. So all in all positive. I say drop a like. You know, if there's any comments, happy to have a debate, as long as they're positive. You know, we all succumb to those. We dwell on the negative stuff. People start kind of sending, you know, things that you shouldn't be doing, or don't do it like that. Well, let's see the alternatives then. Let's have a look. You know, let's have a healthy debate. There's so much information out there, misinformation as well. You know, I'm a personal trainer, but I'm there to support and guide. I never call myself an expert at anything. I'm learning all the time. So even now, doing advanced nutrition, I'm learning about nutrition more and more, which is going to help my clients. So, you know, there's always ways to develop and keep improving and learn and gain knowledge. So it's abundant. There's an abundance of knowledge out there, but it's seeking it in the right areas. Googling and looking on Insta or TikTok, you're not always going to get the right information. And the same with, you know, YouTube as well, to an extent. Although, you know, some pretty educated, well-informed people out there. So, you know, get your sources right. Anyway, I'll leave it there. All it is for me to say, stay well, stay healthy, and I'll see you again soon.